How did Tank Davis allow Devin to become undisputed at 135? How did that even happen? Let's talk.
Push the weight in no flex. Flex the live is 1 in the 6. Fit the runner boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker hot stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon. Motherfucker change like a hoe. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. You know, this is something that I spoke about on my live streams. And the more I think about it, look, this is not a diss video. I clown around a lot. I do. But this is a real question. I'm not, look, no clowning here. No clowning here. But this is a question that has to be answered. I don't understand it. Okay, as of right now, Devin Haney and Tank Davis are going back and forth on Twitter over Snack, and now Snack is this dirty place all of a sudden. Look, I'm not going to revisit that. I spoke about my suspicions with Snack a while ago, but Victor Conti's back in business after he served his time. It would be unwise for him to do something illegal. You know, I doubt that that he's not under the watchful eye of the FBI. You know, I'm sure he don't want to F up again. And all I know is that he's back in business and he's working with multiple athletes, right? Including guys like Bud Crawford. So you guys better really watch what you say. You can't be a Bud fan. And then now you're ripping Devin for being over there. All right. If people start popping, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But as it stands right now, this is a Tank problem. This is a Tank problem. I hear a lot of people saying, I've read a lot of people saying also that Devin is clout chasing because he's at 140 now, and now he wants to call out Tank. That's not true. And I'm going to explain why it's not true. Devin Haney was at 135 for, let's say, more than 3 years, more than 4 years. He was at 135 for more than 4 years. The entire time that he was at 135, Tank Davis was there. And all I hear is Tank is the A side and he's the money guy, and I get it. Devin understood that. Team Haney understood that. They say, yeah, he is the A side. Can we get this fight though? And Tank did everything but fight. Isn't that strange? Isn't that what Bill said? They say everything but fight. Do a lot of talking. And that applies to Tank. Well, Drew, no, it doesn't. Yes, it does. You know why? My question is, how did Tank Davis allow Devin to become undisputed at 135? He was there the whole time. Oh, I'm sorry. He told y'all that belts collect dust. That's Floyd talking, by the way. Belts collect dust. So y'all stood by Tank and allowed him to make his money, which he did, generate fame, which he did. So you co-sign the fame and the fortune, and you celebrate every time he knocks these guys out. Meanwhile, Devin Haney was putting in the real work. Now, over here on this picture I have up here, it's wrong. There's certain things that are wrong here, and I'll go through it. All right, this is the list of male undisputed champs in the 4-belt era. The latest one was Devin Haney at lightweight. Lightweight, 135. That is correct. You see Jamel Charlo there at junior middleweight. That is correct. George Kambosos was never undisputed. Okay? He was never undisputed. He had a franchise status that has magically vanished. Canelo, that is legitimate. Josh Taylor, that is legitimate. Teofimo Lopez Jr., that is not true. Both of those men had the WBC franchise status. They should not be on this list. Devin Haney was the WBC champion because who? Vasily Lomachenko vacated. He ran from Devin. You can't be franchise champion and regular champion. So he got rid of the real belt. That's how Devin Haney ended up with it. He ducked Devin at first. And at first, where the franchise status was not transferable, the rules changed when Teofimo Lopez beat Vasily Lomachenko because he didn't throw a punch for 7 rounds. And speaking of Teofimo Lopez, this guy right here, the fix was in. Drew, what are you talking about? The fix was in. I'm about to play it for you. And this is what I'm talking about. While Devin Haney, while y'all celebrating Tank, the marketing scheme, because that's what he is, Devin Haney was putting in work against the odds. What are the odds? What if I told you the WBC and the WBO were in cahoots to move around Devin Haney because they saw more value in Teofimo Lopez? Here's the proof. I'm about to play it for you. This is Teofimo Lopez back in 2018.
Hey, Devin Haney made a comment, trying to make whatever it is. But at the end of the day, Devin, you don't know. The WBC is not going to have you, even if you do the competition, they're not going to have you fight for the title. You can get mad at everything. I'm fighting for the title after this fight, for the IBF. And then after that, me and Loma for all 4. And where are you? You're not going to get a shot, bro. And you don't know that, but we do. And that's what we did. I'm not going to fight more fights. So it is what it is, man. Talk what you got to talk, my dude. But at the end of the day, you're not becoming a world champion at 135.
That was Teofimo Lopez, ladies and gentlemen. He moved around Devin Haney and not a care in the world. Only a handful of people mentioned it, but it was drowned out because the hatred for Devin Haney, who's legitimately getting it out the mud, putting it in work, the hatred for this young man is so phenomenal. And this picture actually speaks volumes because these 2 guys ended up fighting. And allegedly it was for undisputed. Really wasn't. Because there was no WBC title involved because Devin held that title because Lomachenko vacated it, got the franchise status. He loses to Teofimo Lopez. He petitions for it. They give it to him. Teofimo Lopez was running around saying he was undisputed champion. How can that be when Devin Haney has the real belt? Then he was fighting on Triller and da-da-da-da-da. Y'all remember the fiasco. I ain't going to run it down, but he fights George Kambosos, who you see him right here on the left in the picture. Goes into the Hulu Theater, lays an egg, loses the fight. Now George Kambosos is running around saying he's undisputed. Well, Devin Haney, the real WBC champion, has to chase this guy down. Right? He had 3 belts. Devin had 1. In that situation, Kambosos was the A side. Devin had to go to Australia to fight this guy. Had Devin on there looking like some sort of super thug. This is what they were trying to do with him. This is how they were trying to market him. Right? This is what they did. Devin had to go to Australia. Right? Let me show you something. By the time, salute to my brother Black Fight Fan, I was not cool with Devin going to Australia. I knew the fix was in. I said, man, they're going to make Devin go over there. And then you find out that half of his camp couldn't go because they had felonies or, they were like, nah, you can't go, you can't go, you can't go. We was like, wait a minute. How you going to go over there with no camp? They even stopped the cut man at customs when he landed with him. It was like, yo, don't go over there. Come back home. Dev was already in the air. We was like, damn, we just knew the fix was in. But Dev styled on him so bad, they had no choice but to give it to Devin. Shut him out in Australia. Rematch clause in Australia. So he won undisputed over in Australia and then defended it in Australia. Now, let me stop right there for a moment. Is that not boss behavior? Is that not what kings do? When you want the crown, you got to go take it. This man not only took it, he went on foreign soil and took it and then defended it over there. Then he came back home. And what did he come back home? He got a hero's welcome from us. But all I kept reading was what he don't do. What don't he do? He don't sell like Tank. Wait a minute. Are we counting pockets or rating accomplishments? What's more important to you as a fan? Pockets or accomplishments? If the pockets are your accomplishments, that's great. But I'm not on your payroll. I'm talking about Hall of Fame behavior right now. And if their careers ended right now, Devin's in the Hall of Fame. Tank is just around. You'll talk about him, but he hasn't done legendary stuff. So he comes back home, right? And eventually, when he didn't have to, because he could have went to 140 right here. He won it. He defended it. He said, before I leave, you see this guy right here getting punched in the face with a jab? He got to get this work. He's been running from me. And he gave it to him. I don't care how you feel. Your feelings mean nothing. Lomachenko's ribs was broken. He went to the hospital after the fight. Devin went home and had a meal. I don't care how you feel. Loma lost again. It's not new. He lost to Orlando Salido. Okay? He lost to Orlando Salido. And when he lost to Orlando Salido, they tried to make that loss vanish. How you go to 14-0 with 10 knockouts, but you lost to Orlando Salido? How'd that happen? Go figure. Complexion for the protection. No one says a word, but got everything to say about this. This is your American champion. This is how y'all treat him? Fine, I've seen this before. And then after the fight, you got to deal with this. Look at that snake on the left. Down syndrome looking ass. Look at that snake right there. Like to send bottles. Let's pop some bottles. Sign a contract. What contract? There was no contract. But since he wants to talk crazy, he got an offer. He got several offers. 25%. Oh, he knows his worth. He's worth more than 25%. 25% of half of everything? He hasn't seen that amount of money. Look, I'm not going to argue with y'all about that. He was offered something on top of the 25%, which was going to be in millions. What else was he getting? Shakur was getting a shot at 4 belts with one fight, an opportunity to be on pay-per-view, right? Was he not? Okay, thank you. What else was he getting? What else was he getting? He was going to be drained. Remember? He's going to be drained. He said that out loud, y'all. He said it out loud. And still said no. Devin has been in 140, and salute to our brother Champside. He asked Devin back in 2018, how long are you going to be at 135? Something to that effect. And Devin told him it's hard for him to make the weight. But he stuck around for the major fights. He stuck around long enough to become undisputed. Now, one time did he complain about the scales. He just said it's hard to make the weight, but he made the weight and won all his fights. And got 4 belts. But here's the question. How did he accomplish all of that when Tank Davis was around the whole time. Not one time did he intervene, Mr. A-side. Not one time did he say, you know what, F that George, come fight me. You know I'm worth more. Let me get those 3 belts. Hold on. Floyd Mayweather mentioned Teofimo Lopez fairly recently. Wait a minute, that's a good fight. There you go, chasing those Latinos again, trying to bully the Latinos. There you go, doing that again. But wait a minute, ain't Teofimo at 140? What, you supposed to drain him down to 135? He'd be unwise to do so, chasing a bag. So Devin's at 140. You want to drain him? Tank is in the weight draining business. Catch weight business. He's into that. Dev is the boss. Dev has a better resume, and he's the A side now. Prove me wrong. And oh yeah, the pay-per-view numbers came out. They're looking very similar. Yeah, he did 1.5 million with Ryan, but Ryan had a lot to do with it. Ryan without Tank did how many? Okay. Tank without Ryan does how many? Looking very similar to Haney's numbers, right? Okay. So time is revealing the truth, ain't it? So how did Tank, the A-side, allow Devin to become undisputed at 135? Now guess what? Devin let all those belts go, and now there's chaos. Why isn't Tank and Shakur talking? I threw Shakur and alley-oop. Coach Cal told my brother Marco, salute to Marco Boxing, go subscribe. He basically said they don't want to fight Shakur because they're scared of poor judging, and he won't stand in front of him so Tank could do what he does. So poor judging and lateral movement will give Tank a problem. Tank, the world at 135 is your oyster to crack. If you're the man, like you say, why aren't you becoming undisputed? And you know why I say you can become undisputed? You say belts don't matter, but all the meaningful fights at 135 are surrounded by belts. The WBO, in my opinion, they're gonna give Lomachenko the WBO belt. If not, go fight him for it. You've been running from Loma for 5 years, man. I'm not lying. Y'all know that's true. Why didn't he fight Lomachenko? He was there at 135 all this time. So you ain't fight Tank. You ain't fight Lomachenko at 135. You ain't offered to fight Kambosos when he had 3 titles at 135. You ain't fight Teofimo Lopez at 135. He was there. He gives you Spain, Puerto Rico, and the Dominican Republic, and Mexico. And he's about to do it again. Shakur has a WBC strap at 135. Y'all not even talking. You arguing with Devin Haney back and forth online on Twitter right now, talking about Snack is a peg. You looking stupid. You know why? This right here. This has to be the most powerful picture on the internet. And look, I don't care what you say. My father is very much in my life, very much involved. And I say that proudly. Do you understand how powerful this is? This is what Tank don't have, and this is what a lot of you weak-minded dudes don't have in your life. You don't respect it. So when you see Bill out here grinding for his, he's doing a brilliant job. I don't see Devin out here crashing up $100,000 cars and leaving the scene of crime. I don't see Devin out here ragging up girls at basketball games. He don't have weird chicks that are not his wife, but holding his seed, tearing up his house and calling the police on him for them to come shoot him. Lying on him. The one time he had a mishap with a gun charge, y'all celebrated, which made me wonder. And then when the charges dropped, where was y'all follow-up videos? I'm not saying this for effect. I'm saying it because it's true. There's something wrong with you dudes. And I understand. You see this right here? You wish you had it. And I'm not talking about your mama boyfriend, your mama long-term boyfriend that she broke up with, that's in and out her life, so therefore he's in and out your life. I'm not talking about your mama's guy friend who you call uncle, but it ain't really your uncle. This right here is powerful. This is excellence. This is black excellence. And he's produced the king. And the fact that y'all are disrespecting him and Devin is enraging. Devin took the hard route. He got it done. Now he left 135 with 4 belts and millions of dollars. So if Tank got 50 million, Devin is good with 30 million. I don't know what they got in the bank account. But if I got $30 million in my bank account, but I have a legacy on top of that with a better resume and 4 titles and a 5th title at 140, so much to the point where y'all got to lie on his name, that means he's doing something right. You look at Tank Davis' resume and look at Devin's and tell me which one you would rather have. If you had to pick a life, who would you pick? Devin, on the outside looking in? Devin or Tank? With all those problems. And you see, let me say this. Tank is what America wants you to get behind. I cringe every time a black athlete gets in some sort of legal trouble. They're used to that. They want Tank in our face. Padded up. Slurred speech. Appearing to be uneducated. With all the talent in the world. You think they want to see this right here? A black father that raised an excellent black man with all these accomplishments, well-spoken, Muslim. You know how America feels about the Muslims nowadays. This is so anti what they want. And the fact that you monkeys don't see the play is disgusting. So how did Tank Davis allow Devin to become undisputed at 135? I'll tell you why. Because he know Devin will beat his ass. You think I'm wrong? Prove me wrong. Fight him. Bronx on deck.
Move!